Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Harborside podcast. And there's no intro here because I'm with the man himself. So there's no sponsorship intro for the month. We don't have to go through all that because I'm here with Sidney Gordon, and he is the sponsor. You are the sponsor.
and grateful to be a part of it. You know, you've helped a lot of people, driving them in the direction of core. We've changed a lot of lives over the last 4 or 5 months. So
it's awesome to get feedback. Like once they get in with you guys, and then like a month, 2 down the road, they're like, dude, whole new life. Like, yeah. I feel like me again. It's awesome to hear.
That's why I got in the business, because I was a patient.
Right.
It was great. Yeah. But it's been great. And we enjoy the veteran community too, because the gratitude's just tremendous. So.
Yeah, and those guys, great. You know, those are first responders and military. I mean, they live hot, right? They live hot in their early years, and they get into their 30s, and they're just worn out, like myself. You stayed revved for a decade and a half. You know, you were a redliner for a decade and a half, and that's good. Your body's going to take a toll on that.
Yeah, it does. But I was happy to see your very creative posts for our erectile dysfunction month here in May. It happens to be my birthday month as well. So we've done this for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been awesome. This year we took a different approach. We're doing a lot of education on ED this year, more than ever. And we found that to be very helpful. So the patients out there and the new patients to really get to understand what erectile dysfunction is. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of people that come through the door that don't even realize there's erectile dysfunction drugs on the market. It's crazy. Yeah. Like, they don't know what to do. They're freaking out.
What I didn't realize either, that I thought erectile dysfunction was like, you just can't get an erection, but there's like all kinds of different levels. Like, you know, and Dr. Kirk-Warowski was talking about it not being hard enough, not being hard for long enough, premature ejaculation, can't ejaculate. There's it's a wide array of issues, and that like 60% of men are experiencing it at some level.
Yeah, I think there's like 30 to 40% between the age of 35 and 50 that are experiencing some type of erectile dysfunction.
And it's unnecessary.
So unnecessary. And the other side of it too, which is kind of upsetting to me. I have a lot of patients that are like, man, I don't want to take something because my girl's going to think I'm not attracted to her anymore.
Right.
Well,
I get that a lot. Now there's a mental component with it, right?
And then you're done. After that, it's over. And 50% of ED is mental. There's a lot of situations, maybe not 50, but there's quite a bit. And then, she's going to think I'm not attracted. And my response is, dude, I really feel like she'd much rather have you hard as a rock than soft. Let's really talk about this. And here's the great news. Bring her in here and we can educate her of why it's happening. And that has nothing to do with her. And I've had numerous conversations, husband, wife, girlfriend. I mean, it's just,
that's something to be said, right? That's a partner. Like if that's an issue that you have, then that's something that you deal with. You work together as a partner on both sides, right? And even if there was an issue with the female,
you nailed it. And the other side of it too, I mean, we can contribute that to like testosterone too. There's a lot of times the husband doesn't want the wife to know they're taking testosterone, because that's our first avenue to ED, right? So that's our first. We check your testosterone, the estrogen inside your body. If that's very low, before we start putting you on ED pills, because mentally, to me, they are slightly addictive. An erectile dysfunction pill, it turns you into, a real stud. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Right.
You get more blood flow that equals to larger dick, right? Yeah. And then your stamina, and then you can go again and again, especially with some of the drugs that we have, like 72 hours.
And it feels amazing.
It feels amazing.
Right.
It's amazing. Yeah. So ego-wise, it's great. Sensitive-wise, it's great. And the other side of it too is if you are lying to your significant other about taking it, believe me, she knows when you take it and when you don't take it. You know what I mean? Like they can tell the difference, dude.
You're not getting anything over on anybody.
No, you cannot pull that off. So, I mean, that's the bottom line. So pure honesty is the way to go. And anyone calling, like, listen, I've had great conversations explaining why it happens. And, we were talking before, like, I got erectile dysfunction from cycling 300 miles a week on a bicycle when I was crit racing from the age of like 28 to like 33. I was on a bike 300 miles a week on that little teeny seat, had hemorrhoid issues. What does that do? Well, now where's the blood go? Now we have a major issue there with ED.
Really?
And that's all reversible. You get off the bicycle, you have a procedure, but it's never the same again. So personally, I take 5 milligrams of Cialis pretty much every day in the morning, and I don't have any issues.
So is that something is that something that's happening in those professional sports, you think? Is that a regular thing that those individuals are dealing with?
I mean, anybody high strain sports, man, it happens. It really does happen. And then also when you're doing those high cardio sports as well too. I mean, I've seen it a lot across the board. And then you stop doing it, the body reacts differently, and you can put yourself into those states. And then on top of it, some guys, and this is a real fact, will have 1 or 2 bad nights in bed, and it will get so deep into their head that they can't get an erection, that they're done. That mental thought.
Doc Parsley brought that up. Yeah.
You're done. You're done. So then typically what we'll try here is we'll send out for free, like 1 Cialis, 1 Viagra, and see if that gets the person out of that mental state because they did it really well again. And then they can continue on. And sometimes they can't, but yeah, we're here to, really understand when things have changed, what type of activities you're doing, where your, brain is wrapped around all the entire situation. And we can get to the bottom of it. I mean, we've never not solved it, put it that way. So we've never not solved it.
So starting, like, go back to, like, somebody shows up on your doorstep, and we talked about a little of this off camera and off podcast, but
yeah.
What do we do? You get a guy, and I know I've already sent lots of people to you guys, but what's the process? If a guy's struggling, what do we do?
So we're doing back to what we always say: just get your blood work done, right?
I was teeing you up, Sid. I was like, get your blood work done.
We're gonna get that blood work done, and we're gonna do a physical exam. If you're an existing patient, we're gonna do a Q&A on ED with you. Like a long Q&A. It takes about 15, 20 minutes. And now, we're doing telemedicine. So you can be at your house, you can be in your car, whatever you want to do. You can call and you get an appointment with us if you're existing. If you're not existing patient, you want to come aboard. Be sure, even though my PAs are all females, okay, be sure to have that conversation with them. They're very educated. They've heard everything. So you're not surprised.
And they've seen it all.
And they've seen it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. And they're very good. They're all highly trained with this stuff. Yeah, they've seen it all. That, and now I get it. So
you're not surprised. You're not surprising these PAs.
No, you're not surprising them. So anyways, they'll do your blood work. We're going to do the full panel like we would for any hormone patient coming through the door. But we're going to look at estradiol too high, too low, the blood flow issues there, erectile dysfunction can be caused there.
So
your PSA issue.
So let's break that down. Let's talk about the blood for a little bit. Explain to me, like, what you're looking at in the blood and why it affects what it affects.
Okay, so blood flow too high, too low can cause no circulation to the area or too much too quickly. Simple and easy.
Okay.
So estrogen can cause that to happen. Too much estrogen, you get red. It's that person in the gym that takes massive amounts of testosterone, but no estrogen blocker. You've seen them walking around. They look like they're purple. Okay. Someone that has too low of estrogen, soreness in the joints, bones hurt, shoulders, a lot of shoulder pains, all that joint stuff, but higher blood flow. So that's one thing there that can cause ED. prostate, PSA, right? We all know, guys, we have to get that checked out. While I'm on the topic, guys in your 30s, you guys should be getting your blood work done, get your PSA checked, have them added in every year during your physical exams with your GP. If you don't come to us, we test it here. We're finding more and more prostate cancer in men under the age of 40, and so 80% of the country doesn't get tested. Sid.
I'll back Sid up on this. I have a good friend. I think he's about 42 years old. He had multiple people in his family that had colon cancer, and he pushed to get checked. And they're like, well, you're too young. There's no reason for you to have a colonoscopy. And he said, they found a workaround. He's like, what do I need to get a colonoscopy? He's like, well, you have to do things. He goes, well, I'm having a hard time, this, and this. He goes, oh, okay. Well then, yeah, you need a colonoscopy so that insurance paid for it. Guess what? They found a polyp. It was cancerous, stage 1, had to go through surgery. He had 17 inches of his large intestine removed, had to go through the whole cancer thing. And he's only 42. If he would have waited until, what do they say, 50 or 45 or whatever,
5 years old, yeah, he could have been over with.
It would have been done. He could have died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like crazy, man. So I back you up on that. Like, I've been getting my prostate checked since I was in the Marine Corps because of special operations. They have to do a dive med physical. So like it's nothing new to me. But now I'm with you guys. I'm still getting checked. But I second that. No reason not to get checked, right?
None. I think that you just got the Bluetooth here, whatever. I think that, with these patients coming at the age of 30, we are testing, through blood PSA. PSA is not 100% accurate through blood, but here's the good news. When you come in and your PSA is at 0.9 at the age of 30, and then you come back a year or two from now, get your blood work done again, and it goes to 1.9, now you have to go in. So we're checking just to make sure that you're not big peaks in that level. And one of the best stories here at Core is my first year in business, we found prostate cancer in a 31-year-old guy. It was 11 and a half years ago. And every year to the date that I called him, I get a thank you card. So it's crazy. Dude, it's bad. I have 11 thank you cards from this guy. Unbelievable. So like, that's the cool shit that we find through blood work. And so many people out there, especially, listening to this, if you're out there and you haven't had blood work done in 24, 30 months, and there's going to be a lot of people, just get it done. I mean, get it done. It's so important. And there should be no fear involved. I mean, 99.9% of the stuff is all fixable.
Right.
So going back to like things that can happen on your blood work that are an issue for ED would be your PSA, right? So your PSA levels go way up. That could be caused for numerous things. It's not just cancer. So high PSA levels can be an issue as well. Other than that, there's no labeled use for testosterone for erectile dysfunction, believe it or not, right?
Okay.
So and I know when one of our boys who we're tight with comes onto our program and starts taking testosterone, for the first couple of months, they're chasing the wife around the house pretty aggressively.
Definitely.
Like, I know that. Like, it's a big game changer there.
Like 3 times a day. Like, yep. I need you to come here for a second.
Yes. But it's not going to take a second.
Yeah. Right.
So basically, from that point, we're prescribing testosterone 90% of the time, man. When we're sending out testosterone, that's a good fix. When it's not a good fix, then we're incorporating some of these erectile dysfunction drugs. So my favorite for when you start to come through the door is actually a liquid Cialis that we have here. The active ingredients, tadalafil, okay? You can get this bottle for the same price as 4 pills of brand Cialis. And this lasts anywhere between 60 and 120 days. Okay? So,
but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you have an erection for all that time.
No. Well, it depends on how aggressive you want to get. But so, for instance, brand Cialis and Viagra is anywhere between $40 and $75, depending on where you buy it, for 1 pill.
Okay.
Single pill. This bottle here is anywhere between, depending on the dosing, between 150 and 225 bucks. But it comes with this syringe that actually fits in perfectly. And I take 5 milligrams a day through this syringe. And it really allows me to monitor my own dose. And if I know it's going to be a little bit more of an evening, I just simply, draw back on it and take a little bit more.
You're going to end up with a lot more kids.
Yeah. No, we had a scare this week, brother. Again. No, my daughter's actually going to be 1 next month. So it's been quick.
So what is this doing? Well, go back to liquid cell. So what is that doing to your body?
It's causing blood flow to your limbs, right?
Okay.
So essentially your penis is a limb, like your fingers. So it causes blood flow to all the limbs in your body. This is a sustained release, but I take 5 milligrams. This is great for your prostate as well. Okay. So it's prostate care. It keeps me, my ED is not terrible. I'm the guy that makes it work, but it's not like, oh my God, I'm a stud.
Yeah.
So this gets me there with 5 milligrams. But this comes in Viagra and Cialis. Some of our patients that are really, struggling will take 5 milligrams a day. And then before intercourse, they'll actually have both bottles, Cialis and Viagra, and they will take 50 to 100 milligrams of Viagra before intercourse so that it can, all work out well. There's nothing more frustrating than just taking 5 milligrams and it's still not working. So there are different, this is a tailor-made program for erectile dysfunction for each person. No one's really the same. You have to play with this stuff.
Based off their situation, based off their blood work, their lifestyle. Yeah.
Exactly. So these are one of my favorites. You buy 2 bottles of this and you're good for a while. It lasts a long time. My favorite now, we have the trochees too. I think I sent you those things so you can check them out. The gummies.
Yeah.
Did you get those? No.
Yeah.
So the gummies. I
had to wait till Miss Capra was in her second trimester, but then we threw down with those, and it was a good time. We weren't having it in our first trimester.
No. There'd be like a concussion of the baby.
Sorry, little bud.
Yeah, sorry, man. Those are amazing. The only problem with those is they're like a gummy bear.
Right.
So if you get them, they're really cool because you can take, a blade and cut them in 4s, and then you can take 1 pill and turn them into 4 because they're like 30 mg 4 pills, and then you have like a daily use, right?
Right.
The problem is this. The problem is if you leave them in your car or in the sun or in your pocket, they're gone.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes during our shipping, if we ship on a Friday, something's sitting in like the UPS substations, things like that, there are some issues. So there's some risk involved there with that. So I came out with these new wafers. They're like a white little Mentos.
Okay.
And it dissolves in your mouth in under 5 seconds and goes directly into your bloodstream. And it doesn't melt, and you can break the wafer only in half one time. But this right here is 110 milligram Viagra, which if you or I took this right now, we could go cut down a telephone pole. It's very, very, very strong. But we do have them in different doses. So the beauty of this stuff is that, number one, we have the active ingredients. It's 1/10 of the price of brand.
Yeah.
1/10. And you can break them down so that you can get 2 or 3 uses out of them. Most people, some people, that's not going to happen, but the majority, it will. So those are our 2 like basic startups. We do offer Trimix here, which is someone who's maybe, severely diabetic. Mm-hmm. Diabetes is a huge issue for erectile dysfunction or obesity, things like that. We do have the Trimix here, which is a very, very, very thin hair-like needle that you inject in the side of your penis, and it causes an instant erection. Essentially, it's injecting concrete into you, and it causes you to get one right away. That's the most aggressive form that we do offer here. But we do have
What's the situation
other,
what's the situation with somebody's physiology that you would need to go to that aggressive level?
existing health conditions, typically health conditions that would make it so these pills won't work.
I
You
see.
know, massive obesity, diabetes, things like that. There's some other stuff too.
So
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
hearing
really,
is if you want your dick to work, eat healthy, be healthy, don't be obese. Like,
and take testosterone.
and take testosterone. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
last
these,
year we came up with, sorry.
but these are
So we,
like a really good bridging solution until you get where you need to be with your hormones and your body and your health.
exactly. I mean, typically what we'll do is we'll send out a few samples in the beginning to see what works good for you at
Yeah.
no charge. So when you place your first order with us, if you do have the ED, we'll send out, an RTD. This is called the RTD, rapid dissolve tablet. We'll send out a trochee, something like that, just so you can try it. We'll send you tadalafil and sildenafil so you can see what one works better. The beautiful part is this. People out there that know about ED pills, which I'm sure there's quite a bit, there's a lot of side effects, headaches, stuffy nose, pain in the eyes, right?
Yeah.
All the drugs we offer, they bypass your stomach lining and go straight into the bloodstream and have minimal side effects.
Is that's what's happening when people, because I've heard of that as well, like the red eyes, the runny nose,
Yep.
the pressure in the face. So
the burning skin, you feel warm.
What's happening there? Is that because it's being digested a certain way?
Exactly correct. Yep. This bypasses the whole stomach line and goes right into the whole bloodstream, and it minimizes the amount of side effects dramatically.
Wow.
So, I mean, if I take a brand Viagra, I can tell a big difference when my body's burning, so on. So, I mean, you can chew Viagra, but it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
And this is a cheaper, better solution. So that's another positive here with this stuff. We do offer one other drug, which is really interesting. So for those of you out there that know about ED drugs, we have something called a core sexual enhancement trochee that my physician designed, and it's testosterone 25 milligrams. It is HCG 300 micrograms, 25 milligrams of Viagra, and 25 milligrams of Cialis, all in one trochee. So essentially what it does is it takes your testosterone. It takes your testosterone. People use it before the gym too. It gives you this ridiculous pump. And they use this 5 milligrams gives you a great pump in the gym as well, because it's increasing that blood flow. But so what that design put in place right there puts your testosterone to legitimately 1,500 to 1,800 for 3 or 4 hours. You're taking the HCG, so you're getting LH and FSH stimulation, which causes your semen volume, okay, the amount of semen that you have. And then you have your Cialis and Viagra to increase your erection, volume of the erection, and quality. So you're actually hitting every angle with that one trochee that could be causing erectile dysfunction. So it works really good, and it almost works as good as the trimix. So we try to keep people off that trimix. Unfortunately with the trimix, you're actually poking a hole in the side of you. So, STDs are easily transmitted that way as well.
Yeah.
So we try to avoid that drug. But the trochee works really, really, really well.
That's amazing.
So
I never would have thought combining all those, but it makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
I tried it once. It was like, dude, what did I do? But the majority of the stuff that we have is in and out of your system if you're taking the recommended dose from us, which a lot of people aren't, right? Oh my God, this girl's so hot, I better take a whole one of these, right? That can go real bad.
Yeah.
That can turn into like an erection that doesn't go away for 2 or 3 days, and you have to get drained.
So follow the freaking guidelines.
Follow the guideline. It's like taking the testosterone. Don't abuse it.
Yeah.
Too much of the stuff isn't good for you. It's testosterone. Too much aspirin isn't good for you. Too much anything isn't good for you. Follow the guidelines. But so we like with a few of the drugs, such as this Cialis, 25 milligrams of this Cialis or more, or our trochees are a 72-hour sustained release. So this is slowly absorbing into your stream over a 72-hour period. You take 25 milligrams of this, you're typically good for 48 to 72 hours. And that's not when the wind blows, that's on contact. So once you start getting to that position mentally, physically, your heart rate starts going up, this drug will kick in. So it's pretty cool.
So you don't have to worry about like plan a situation, like plan out something, or like something happens and your wife's like, hey, kids are gone and we got 20 minutes. Let's throw down.
Yeah.
You're like, well, let me go get my pill. And you know what I mean? Like you're good already.
Hold on. We have to wait 5 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
The sublingual stuff too, on a good point here, in the stuff that dissolves in your mouth, that's all we offer. We don't do any pills for ED drugs, nothing oral pill. It's all trochees, rapid dissolve tablets, the droppers. This dropper right here has picked up the name moose juice, is what my patients call it. They call it moose juice because I had one patient that actually circulated a picture of like a before and after of taking this drug, and it causes so much blood flow.
No, he didn't.
It was pretty funny. That was a single guy that didn't really care too much about anything, but it was hilarious. Yeah, so the stuff works great, and it's the beauty of it is you swallow a pill of Viagra, you're waiting 45 minutes to kick in. This shit kicks in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right to the bloodstream. So it's quick. And
that's the thing to me is like, when I was talking to the two videos that I've done already about this situation, I mean, on the mental side, that sucks, right? For a man to like have to deal with that. Like, it's the same thing with like testosterone, right? Like it sucks that you have to deal with that. Like the thing is you don't have to. It's nothing to be ashamed of. There's like a medical reason that this is happening. It's not because you're less than or like you're not man enough. That's all bullshit. And anyway, that whole concept is bullshit anyway, right? So that if this is a situation, like get your blood tested and get like there's solutions to these problems that you can live a healthy and happy life with your significant other and not have to deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, what comes to mind right away too, Nick, is that, obviously you have a huge community of like the veterans and so on and so forth,
right,
or first responders. That trauma that they're receiving not only affects their hormones, but definitely this as well. Right. A lot of this stuff comes hand in hand.
And then it's compounding, right? Now they've got another issue that they're mentally worrying about.
Exactly. And then on top of that, how about this? If they didn't get to us first and went to the VA and they're taking, depression drugs and all that stuff, that kills your sex drive. It's over on those depression drugs.
That's a great
you're
point.
Done, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. All the stuff like the uppers and downers and the sleep meds, like that is going to totally fuck up your sexual organs.
Exactly. So, but well, I think we did pretty good, Nick.
Yeah, that was great. And I really think that like, we don't want to, like, I did the penis thing and to not to make a joke of ED, but to get people's attention. Right. And that's the thing is like,
I mean, it was super creative. When I saw that with you in the treadmill, I grabbed, my fiance and I'm like, this is the guy that was protecting our country, like very aggressively, like one of the baddest motherfuckers on earth. And now he's dressed in a penis outfit on a treadmill in a gym that's not supposed to be open. Like, what the fuck is going on? It's awesome, dude.
Oh, how things change.
Yeah.
Hey, man, whatever it is to get the message to the people, man. Like, it just breaks my heart to see people suffer. Like, not to get on a tangent on other stuff, but I just don't like seeing people unhappy and people suffer. I don't think there's a reason for it anymore.
None.
And these are things. These are all things that even not. It might sound on a medical level, but these are things that I spent the best years of my life, meaning my youth, my most vitality, the best years of my health, serving our country and deploying overseas and fighting terrorism. So where now we can come home and be happy and live a life and celebrate our freedoms and things like that. And one of those things is maybe, dude, having sex with your wife, your significant other. Like you're fucking entitled to be.
That would suck to come back and not be able to do. That would suck to come back and not.
You know what I mean? So like, fuck all that. Like, let's get healthy. Let's get whole, and let's have some great fucking sex. You know, like.
I mean,
like
sign me up, Nick. I get it.
I'm selling you.
But guys, so listen, any existing patients that are hearing this, give us a call if you want some samples. They're on the house. Any new patients coming through the door, we're going to send out samples for free on everything. Just make sure you're letting us know you have some problems with that, and we'll take good care of you. We'll get you out plenty of samples so that you have some time to try all the different ones. Again, there's no charge on that as well. And we're going to be running a special for this stuff next week. We have a big special coming out on all of our ED stuff. Okay, guys. So if you're going to order, wait till next week.
This will be next week. So this is Monday.
Oh. Guys, guess what? We're running a huge special this week. Talk to your patient coordinators, DM Nick. He's great at getting back to us. I'm super accessible as well. If there's ever any issues, guys, across the board with how I can make my company better, anything that I can do to support you guys out there, please DM me and my phone number. I'll give it right back to you. And we're here to support you. If there's anything urgent you need, if you need meds in a timely, overnight the next day, let me know. And we'll do whatever we can do to support, you guys out there and help you however we can.
Thank you, Sidney. This is awesome. And all the links are below. So if you guys can DM me and I'll send you the link. If not, it's in this podcast. It's in this video. Hit the link, get in contact with them. And at a minimum, as I always say, get your blood tested. If you're going to do nothing, at least get your blood tested. Let them tell you what's going on with your body. And then we'll go from there. All right. Thanks, Sidney.
Awesome, man. I'll talk to you this week, bro. Thank you.